Evening all, welcome back to Space Engineers. Right, we are doing something very important here. We are actually connecting all of our ship systems together, and you'll see why in just a moment, because, well, it's pretty obvious. What we need to be able to do is use the conveyor system to move everything between each other, okay? And I mean, again, this was a revelation that only hit me recently when I actually docked this ship with the station and realized, hang on, I could actually move everything around the station. So you see here when I'm removing all the hoppers, I'm removing the connectors, and we're just going to plug it all in using connector blocks. And that's all it needs. And it's incredibly effective. Hopefully you'll see that. Anyway, you'll see it as we go. By doing this, you are able to then, from your chair, your captain's chair, you can move everything around the ship, and that is not to be sniffed at, because it just means that you then have, all of your guns are connected, all of your refineries are connected. So as you drop ore into the stations, you know that you've got full capability to get from one part of the system to the other. You can load ships automatically without having to put it into your cargo hold, your inventory. You can just literally say, right, bang, there you go. This ship is now ready to go. So the mining ship, as it lands, you can put all of that into the refineries across the base. I am getting this game more and more as I play it, and I think building this space station has been the best thing I could have done, because it's now a proper base. And I love it. It just makes perfect sense to me now. So let me show you what I mean. Everything you see here is now interconnected. Now, if you can't move something between something, then it means that it's not connected to your conveyor system. So just make sure that it is. Sometimes you might find that a rock has smashed one of the conveyor blocks, and it may look like it's on, but it's not. So just bear that in mind. But otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. And what I'm able to do is, you see the refinery, I can start to move them around, and I can actually take from parts of the refinery, drop them into the other parts, and it works really well. Also, having this ability means that the backup systems on the flagship can be used as well. So the flagship can actually be used as almost like a stopgap to build certain things. So, for example, on this flagship, we have a refinery and an assembler, and we could just set it so the only thing this builds is and there you go, that's the problem. So you see there, we actually had that as a problem. That was stopping us connecting. So let's just remove that. Lovely jubbly. And what that now means is that we can actually use this refinery and assembler to maybe just make ammunition. So we can actually have all of the ammunition on the station. Maybe we could have all the ammunition on this. Either way, because all the turrets are connected to everything. It's all one system, by the way. I'm not creating multiple systems where one's for uranium, one's for ammo. That was my mistake to begin with. Just connect every single system that can be connected. So this is your grinders, your welders. This is everything, literally everything that has an output. Connect it to the conveyor system, and you will be amazed how useful it can be. You'll notice here we've got all the drills, so let me just scroll down. We've got the Gatling turrets, we've got pretty much everything here you can imagine. Now, the missile turrets aren't loaded. I refuse to use missile turrets at the moment because, yeah, they keep going. Yeah, but there we go. But what we're doing here is we're able to then move. You see, we can't, that's interesting. We can't move from one thing to the other. So, no, that was my inventory. My apologies, I got that wrong. So I actually have to step off the chair and put the stuff in there. But in essence, that's it. That's the only kind of negative point to this. So by placing it in the assembler, what I can now do is I can actually use the chair and the inventory windows to actually, find the various things I want to transfer between and move them across. Hopefully that's very clear, because it is remarkably useful. There was a revelation to me, and I know it's an obvious one, but so there we go. We've got a flagship assembler. So what we're going to do is we're probably going to take all of the ore out of that, all of the minerals rather out of that, because we don't necessarily need to use that particular one when we've got two on the station that we could quite honestly be using. It's definitely worth considering that as an option, because just having 3 refineries is great. So when the mining ship lands, I'm not sat there waiting for it all to kind of move. Firstly, I can move everything off the mining ship into the various refineries I've got, because they're all connected, and I can watch them all mine. Now, I would like to see a few more options here. So the ability to hide turrets, for example, the ability to hide drills, the ability to hide various things, is kind of needed. There's 4 options there. There's show me storage, show me systems, show me energy, and show me everything. And none of them are particularly useful when you've got so many Gatling gun turrets. Now, maybe it's because I've got too many, possibly. But again, I don't know. To be honest, rocks still get through and hit me. So what can you do? Anyway, so that's the refinery on the ship. So you see the refinery on the mining ship is actually still working away. And then we've got our 2 refineries on the station that are also running. And this is what's really cool, because now we can actually start to load the assemblers on the station. So we've got alpha and beta there. You see top and bottom, alpha assembler, beta assembler. We can start to load them with all of the minerals that build things with. And effectively, this is then starting the whole process of using the station. This is in creative, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. And we can actually start to properly use the game and make the game work for us as it was designed to do. It's just amazing. I love it. I'm always kind of blown away by how good some of these games get when they do things like this. It is just amazing. I love the fact that you can interconnect all of these cargoes. I should have known you could anyway, but I just didn't maybe consider it that important. I also didn't understand that just having one system is all you need. So you can then just literally go into your inventory and move everything from one point to the other. So for example, we've got underneath the station a grinding level. Make sure you watch the next video of this, because in that next video we show that grinding level platform being used, and it's amazing. And you'll see the output from that is very viable because it's producing a huge amount of stuff from it. So, at this point, we're now thinking in this space station of having another refinery that actually doesn't refine. It actually disassembles parts back into their constituent components. I think that's what we're going to end up doing. Because it's kind of needed. But first off, the biggest thing we've got to do is get ammo. So by building within these alpha assemblers, you'll notice hopefully that the ammo count is going down. No, it's not. So that means actually all the guns are full. So that's good. So as the guns start to shoot, they'll automatically draw from this, these assemblers any ammo that they need. Now that is awesome. So you can know that as long as you've got a couple of 1,000 boxes of ammo in the storage somewhere, you know that the guns will always be, topped up, ready to go. I can't stress enough how important that is, because ammo, if you don't have it, is not a good thing. But yeah, this is, it's the simple stuff, really. I mean, this is very similar to Tekkit. I don't know if you've ever played Tekkit from Minecraft. That's all about technology and interconnection of machines and so on. So obviously they've drawn a lot of that feeling out. I'm really liking that. But again, I think there's a few more tweaks needed. So for example, I don't like having to see all the doors. For example, I mean, I know you can group them, but I would just love to see them removed. Maybe you could hide them. Maybe I think it's needed. It just at the moment it feels as if it's too much there. Anyway, you can see the umbilical between the station and the flagship. I built that. It's just literally a connector block, series of blocks. I did that on purpose because I really wanted to show. It's important to have, I think, the very obvious connection between the two. You could probably build it to be more elegant so that when you dock, you just then put a single pipe in. We may look to do that differently another time, but I think for the time being, I'm loving it. I am absolutely loving having a station. It's so much fun. It really does feel like I've got a home now. It also feels that, again, the beauty of this is that I can actually change and take all of these entities with me. So if you're worried about building a station, or you don't want to because you think actually eventually the map's going to be empty and I can't take the map with me, don't worry. There is an entity grabber called Space Engineer's Toolbox. And what you can then do is grab entities like the ship, the whole space station, whatever it may be, and drop them in a fresh map. So you can then go and mine to your heart's desire. So seriously consider it. I think you're not going to lose your designs by exhausting a map. You're not going to have that. So please consider it. Just connecting a few more of I think that's our gun case. So we've now connected our armory to the reactors. All of the reactors are now lined in as well, so that as we mine uranium, we can then feed that through to the various reactors. I mean, it is a beauty of automation. It is an incredibly good developed and designed part of the game that I really am getting quite nerd-tastic about. So there we go. As I fall down the hole, into the hangar. There we go. Oh dear. Now this has probably been one of the more fun things I've done in this game for a long time, so I think, I can't recommend enough giving it a go. Don't worry if it's creative as well. I think too many people worry about building it from scratch. If you've got the time, then good on you. As a YouTuber, I don't have the time, so I had to build this quick. I had 90 minutes pretty much. And I thought, well, I could start the frame and maybe finish it, but I thought, you know what? No, just going to do it all in one go. And I'm kind of glad I did. So we're just making sure our Gatling turrets are armed and ready. So they should now start to draw ammo. And there we go. I think we'll cut it. So join us next time as we actually test drive the grinding deck. And seriously, you do not want to miss this. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you next time.